You are listening to Hello Cupcake It's Me, a podcast with your host, Michael Peterson.
Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake It's Me, a podcast, and today is August 8th, 2024. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe, then head on over to youtube.com/Hello Cupcake It's Me to check out the YouTube channel that is updated every Wednesday and Saturday. And while you're at it, head on over to hellocupcakeitsme.com to give the blog some love. Make sure that you follow me on all the different social medias. And head on over to my upcoming book, Carpe Diem Scroto, 365 Daily Affirmations, scheduled for publication November 2024. And you can find that at www.cdsthebook.com. So, how is everyone doing? Oh man, I am feeling tremendously better in comparison to how I felt last week. I don't know if it was just a summertime cold, if it was COVID or what the hell it was, but whatever it was, kind of kicked my butt last week. And the only reason I say that it could be COVID or whatever is because there was a lady at the pool who said that she was on the ass end of it. And that alarm that you just heard is my insulin pump telling me that I have no insulin in my pump, which is some bullshit because I just filled it up 2 days ago with over 150 units. But I'll attend to that in a little bit. So yeah, anyway, she told me that she was on the ass end of COVID or whatever, and then was like all up in my face in the swimming pool talking to me the entire time that we were there. And then, you know, I got home, and later that evening we had this strange weather that happened, and the barometric pressure changed, and I opened my windows for the first time in a long time. I haven't opened any of my windows in the house since I got my portable air conditioner, just because I'm trying to keep it at like a good 64 in here, regardless of how hot it is outside. Like right now, it's a very humid and smoky, overcast 73 degrees outside. And I know some of you who are in like Southern California or down south or whatever, you're just like 73, that would be wonderful. But you know, here in the Pacific Northwest, we are used to dealing with 30 to 50 degree weather. So yesterday it was 65 and cold. Today it's 73 and hot. And so yeah, it's just miserable. And I got my one portable air conditioner hooked up to my Echo Dot. So when I'm out and about, or as I'm leaving the house in the morning, I'll say, "Hey, Lexi, turn the AC on at like 11:45 in the afternoon or whatever." So in that way, it's been running for at least 15 minutes by the time I get home in the afternoon. And then I'll shut it off like around 11:30, 12 o'clock. I shut it off for about an hour around 4 or 5. Well, 5 to 6, I shut it off so that I could cook dinner, because I found out that as I'm cooking dinner, my stove and air fryer and all that other stuff pulls too much power, and so does the AC. And so I end up tripping a breaker. So I'll shut it off for a little while during that time period, and then I just have box fans running. But yeah, so I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling more clear-headed. I'm not as dizzy. I'm not as like feeling like I'm underwater all the time. And so just really kind of happy with all of that. Anyways, so we are like day 3 or 4 into August Mercury retrograde. And during the first aspect of the retrograde, it's only going to affect half of the zodiac. during the second part of the zodiac, or during the retrograde, it's going to affect the other half of the zodiac. So, like right now, it's affecting Pisces, Gemini, Leo, and I want to say Scorpio. And then about the 15th or the 20th, it switches over and it affects everyone else. And I decided that it's time for me to start setting boundaries. And that there's a lot of things that I need in my life, a lot of things that I want to do in my life, and a lot of things that I'm trying to manifest. One of them being getting my book completed, getting all the stuff that I need for the book said and done. And so I have to start setting boundaries, not only with myself, but with others. I'm one of those people whose love language is let me fix it. I pride myself on being a wealth of information and being somebody who's like, oh, you're going through XYZ, let me fix it. I know exactly who to talk to, and 9 times out of 10, I have the person in my phone, or I know of an organization, or I know of a resource online, or whatever. And so I go through all of this to help other people. And there's certain aspects in my life that I'm starting to feel that I'm being taken advantage of, and I don't like that feeling. Because when I do stuff for people, I do it without expectation. And that's something I talk about in my book, and that's something I've talked about in my blog, in my YouTube channel, all throughout my social media. I'm always talking about giving of yourself selflessly without expectation of repayment or reward. And, when I start to feel like what I have done selflessly is being expected and taken advantage of, and like, well, you did this for me last month, why don't you do it for me this month, and why don't you do it for me this month, and why don't you do it for me for that month, and so on and so forth. So that has become, in certain areas of my life, that has become an expectation that I'm expected to fulfill over and over and over and over, and I don't want to do that anymore. So that's one boundary that I'm placing, that no is a complete sentence. There's no explaining, there is no shuffling, there is no workarounds. No. If I say no, expect no to consistently be the answer every single time you ask. And that's going to be really fucking difficult for me because, like I said, I'm a people pleaser, and my love language is let me fix it. And guys, I cannot tell you how much I hate the terminology that I'm about ready to use. Like, this particular word invokes such a rage in me that the second somebody uses it toward me or around me, I automatically lose respect for them, and everything that they say is negated. But at the same time, there's not a better word for what I'm getting ready to say, and that's gatekeeping. That term absolutely pisses me off, and it enrages me because you don't gatekeep stuff. Like, if somebody doesn't have the knowledge, or they don't want to give you the knowledge, or they're telling you that there is a reason that you don't need to learn something or know something right this minute, they're not keeping you from that knowledge. They are just telling you that you don't... I don't know. Anyways, I could go on an entire 2-hour tangent just about that. But I have started withholding information from people. I have started not being there for people. I have started not telling people about things because I don't feel that that person needs to know about them. I don't feel that I should exhaust myself, my resources, and my whatever to help certain people. Now, maybe it's arrogance, maybe it's whatever, but I look at some of the people in my life and some of the people that I choose to help, and I think, no, you don't need that information because you're just going to abuse it and you're not going to pay the proper respect for the information that I give you. Especially when it comes to putting people in contact with other people that could besmirch my name, could besmirch my reputation. And, I have the right to want things for myself. I have the right to cultivate peace, happiness, tranquility, what the hell ever else. And so I've stopped posting a lot of personal stuff on social media. I still keep up the blog, I still do the podcast, I still do the YouTube channel or whatever, but for my stuff that directly affects my day to day, there's a lot of stuff that I don't post about anymore. And so I just made this really long 3 or 4 paragraph basically PSA to everyone on my friends list that I'm going to be setting boundaries, and if you don't like the boundaries that have been set, too fucking bad. If you're pissed off at me for setting a boundary, then you need to look at yourself and take a look inward as to why you're pissed off because I've set a boundary. And if that boundary was set because of something that you had done, you don't get to be pissed off at me because I am no longer a resource. You don't get to be pissed off at me because I am no longer fulfilling that need in your life. And if our friendship is transactional, then it's not a friendship. If you're only doing things for me in hopes of later on me fulfilling a need or a role in your life, that's not a friendship. That's a tit for tat. That's transaction. And I'm not a transactional person. I don't do things for people with the expectation of being awarded or rewarded later on down the road. So, it's hard, and it's definitely something that I am coming to terms with. And I watched it just recently, like, seriously spiral out of control when I placed a boundary and somebody tried to overstep it. And I watched, like, from a mental health aspect, all of the signs of, like, narcissism, controlling, guilt, all this stuff just, like, spin out of control. And I was just like, bro, you good? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. And so, I finished off the sentence or the whole post with, I give a lot of advice to a lot of different people, and one of the major things that I advise people is to trim the fat from your life. Do not put yourself on the chopping block by pushing against my boundaries, by trying to undermine what I'm doing and thwarting my growth. What I am going to be doing, what I want to do, is not going to have any bearing on who I am as a person or who we are as friends. So if you are feeling a certain kind of way about stuff, then you need to look into that for yourself. So, yeah, it's been really, really kind of freeing. And, I don't talk about spirituality all that much on any of my platforms, but I subscribe to the idea of burning sage and smudging your house and driving out negative energy. Okay. And so I have a whole bunch of sage, and the other night I decided that I needed to sage my house. My house felt heavy. And I burned this sage, and I went through every room of my house and did this smudging. And as I was doing this smudging, I was saying, any negative energy that's in here, you need to leave. Those people who are only using me for a resource, I'm cutting your ties. I just went down this whole list and just kind of speaking into the universe, just this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. And be it psychosomatic, be it spiritual, be it divine intervention, what the hell ever, it felt lighter in the house. And I just sat here in a smoke-filled house with my thoughts and just thinking about all the things that I want to accomplish, what I want to get done with my book, what I want to get done with my house, what I want to get done with my physical health, what I want to get done for this, that, and the other thing. And, I just took a moment to be grateful and thankful and to put that out to the universe that I was grateful and thankful. So it's going to be difficult, and I know that the August retrograde typically deals with breakdown of communication. And it's not a good time to rush into any business plans or ventures or whatever else. But for me personally, I am trying to just get myself set up. I have until October 15th that I have to have everything said and done with the book. And so from October 15th to November 15th, I'm planning on having the book published by November 15th and the release date on November 16th. So you heard it here first. All I know as of right this moment is that the publication date is going to be sometime early November, with the release party sometime mid-November. So, yeah. Just a lot of stuff going on. And I've also been thinking about the future of Hello Cupcake It's Me. I don't know how I want to proceed with Hello Cupcake It's Me. This November will be the 15th or 16th year that I've had Hello Cupcake up and running. And I just, in all the years of having it up and going, there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of up and down and in between. The podcast, we are in season 2, episode 30. And there's a lot of people who don't listen to the podcast. There's a lot of people who only watch YouTube, and the people who watch the YouTube channel don't know that I have a podcast, and I don't know how to bridge the two. So I've been kind of thinking about maybe stopping the podcast altogether, but at the same time, I enjoy doing the podcast. I like being able to present information in an audio form. And I don't know if I want to continue doing the podcast as its own separate thing, or if I want to, as I create the Wednesday and Saturday videos, just strip the audio from those and then turn those into podcast episodes and upload those as podcasts. Then that way, it's kind of cohesive across the board. Because most of the time I don't talk about the same thing on the podcast that I do in the YouTube videos. So how would you like me to proceed with Hello Cupcake It's Me? Do you want me to continue doing the podcast, continue doing the YouTube channel? Do you want me to do a hybrid bastardization of the two? Like, what would you like? How would you like to continue to consume my content? And I'm going to leave a poll at the end of this podcast. So if you are listening to the podcast on like a cell phone or whatever, take a moment to check out that poll. And I'm going to date it out for like probably at least a month or two, just to try to give everyone a chance to really listen to this. And also let me know how and where you're listening to the podcast. Are you listening to it here on Spotify? Are you listening to it on Apple Music? Are you listening to it on Google Music? Are you listening to it on YouTube? Because I have it syndicated now to where it transfers over to YouTube podcasts. That would really help me so that I know how to better focus the energy. Also, do you want a dedicated website just for the podcast? I have one that is created, but it doesn't have like all the latest episodes or whatever. But, you know, I could start maybe dedicating more time and energy into keeping that up and running. So just let me know. Put your comments in the comment section down below, or shoot me an email, hellocupcakeitsme@gmail.com, and let me know. I would really greatly appreciate it. So for now, I'm going to let you guys go, and make sure that you listen to the commercial after this, because it is a shameless plug for the book. But anyways, guys, I hope you all are doing well, and I look forward to hearing from you. Also, if you would like to be on the podcast, let me know. Send me an email, hellocupcakeitsme@gmail.com, and in the subject line, put podcast, and we could do a Zoom meeting or something like that, and add that in, and just kind of go from there. So anyways, guys, stay safe, stay happy, stay sane, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
Hey everyone, did you know that there is a new exciting book coming out by the aspiring author Michael Peterson, called Carpe Diem Scroto 365 Daily Affirmations? This book is a daily affirmation workbook that has mental health writing prompts to help you navigate your day better. With funny and witty plain English humor, you will find prompts that ask you things like, talk about a time that you needed support and didn't have it. What did you do to support yourself, and what tips and suggestions would you have for others who may be going through something similar? Each day, the affirmations help to reframe things so that you can get the best out of your day. And at the end of the day, there is a journaling section to write about the day's exploits. If you would like to learn more about this fabulous book, please visit the website www.cdsthebook.com. Again, that website is www.cdsthebook.com. If you have a podcast, radio show, or would like to book Michael for an engagement, or have him on your show, please send an email to cdsbook@gmail.com, or look for the media kit and other booking information on the website.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You have been listening to Hello Cupcake It's Me, a podcast with your host Michael Peterson. Please make sure to check back often, as new episodes are released bi-weekly. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to send a message to hellocupcakeitsme@gmail.com. And until next time, stay happy, safe, and keep doing the best you can with what you have been given.